The last 4 months have been possibly the strangest in my entire life. They have no precedent at all. This period is unique to the generation who are living through it. We're making it up as we go along. Now, I'm obviously taking a risk here in doing a looking back over lockdown as we emerge. We really don't know what the future will hold. England has emerged, Wales is still closed, so is Scotland. And we watch the graphs to see if we're going in the right direction or whether we risk following Leicester back into lockdown. That said, it's a good point for those in England to look back over the past 4 months as lockdown really begins to come to an end. Well, at least this time round anyway. Try to think back to March as we moved rapidly from an awareness, possibly a bit vague to start with, that we're going to have to modify some things in life, and then suddenly we're in lockdown, all in the space of about a week. Reading the emails from the headmaster in my school in the 5 days up to school closure for all but key workers is a salutary reminder how quickly it became apparent just what sort of crisis we were in. Using the military to build vast Nightingale hospitals gave a clear sign that we were entering frightening times. So what has life been like for you during lockdown? Having to be in the house for more hours than we're used to, really, and possibly being with others in your household for far more time than you are used to. People have responded in a variety of different ways. Some have found the time refreshing, learn new skills, done projects around the house that have been left for years waiting for the time to do them. They've used the exercise slot that we were allowed to, well, get out and actually do some exercise, discover local walks they never knew existed, read, studied, slept and relaxed. For others, it's been a rather painful experience. Uncertainty over money, too many people in too small a space, can't cope with the children's online school, no ability to motivate, to do anything, and spent the time on the sofa in front of Netflix. At any change point in our lives, it's always good to look back and evaluate. Now, the main point of this reflection is to look at ourselves to see what we have learned. We're very good at looking at the government and leaders and saying how they should have behaved differently. Hindsight's a very precise science, of course. What is far more relevant and something which can directly affect us is what we personally have learned from the way that we have lived during lockdown. A bit of self-reflection can be very valuable if handled well. Two very powerful questions, obvious questions really, to work with in exploring what we've learned over the past 4 months. First one, what have you got wrong during lockdown? Second one is an easy one to work with really, because the big smiley face. What have you got right during lockdown? Now, it may be worth actually writing this down on some paper so you can think about it more carefully. I find the list useful to look back on later. Now, very obviously, the purpose of this exercise is to learn from the negatives and work not to repeat them, and learn from the positives how to repeat this and build for the future.